Hey guys, it's Shane here from Tank Hunter Miniatures, and in today's video we'll be going through the Necron vehicles and which detachment you should bring them in. Now the codex just came out a little while ago. I've just now been able to fully read it and get a good idea of everything that's gone on in it and the changes that have been made, so we can fully go into what you should bring if you're planning to bring nothing but tanks and vehicles to a Necron list. This was a lot harder than I thought, because the vehicles are very powerful. You got some really strong tanks. They really stand out as, you know, they've got their 4-up invuln, it's pretty good toughness, you know, everything's got a 3-up save. Oh, and they all have really good objective control as well, so yeah, they're all really solid. What you find is a lot of them don't need a lot of support. So what you see is the actual detachment, all the ones, they don't really support vehicles all that much, but then they don't really need it, so it's okay. But let's just go through it and break down what you'd like to bring if, you know, if you're not just bringing tanks, but if you wanted to bring tanks to a detachment, what you might want to be looking at. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with making a quick list. So we'll start with a warlord, which in this case, the Catacomb Command Barge. Now, it's not the only vehicle that is also a character. You've also got the Silent King, but the Silent King really doesn't sort of fit in these builds. He's like a very separate kind of entity, so we're going to forget about him for now. He stands out way too much. So basically, the Catacomb Command Barge. Really solid unit. I really like this guy. He's got really good survivability because he's got the neg 1 to be wounded against stronger, so you're pretty much always going to be wounding him on a 4+. He's got good range, he's got good combat. He's actually really good at that. So yeah, a really solid list. I really like him. Alright, and of course, what would fill out a tank list for Necrons more than the Doomsday Arc? So yeah, if you wanted to go all damage, just bring 3 of these guys. These are insane. They're just as powerful as they always were, if not more so. Insanely hard to put down. I mean, yeah, dealing devastating wounds. When you deal 4 damage as a devastating... ugh. But then again, I mean, it's AP4 weapon, so it's like, oh, that's going to cut through most things, even in cover, even 3-up armor save. And yeah, blast and heavy, it's strength 18. It's just going to get through everything. This is anti-everything. It hates everything. So yeah, Doomsday Arc, if you can maximize them, you know, like I said with the Space Marines, as many Vindicators as you can, this is no-brainer. This is what you should be bringing. Now, bringing Monoliths, not a bad choice. These guys are so hard to put down. Probably the hardest they've ever been put down. So yeah, expensive. So I'd say maybe just bring 1. I'd hesitate to bring more than 1 in most cases, just because it's a big points investment and it's a big target, but man, this is hard to put down. And yeah, this thing is more deadly than it ever has been with the sustained hits on the death rays. Oh, it's so many like las cannons just shooting out everywhere. Yeah, the particle whip, that's fantastic against everything. Yeah, this thing is anti-infantry, anti-light, anti-everything. So yeah, Monolith, definitely not a bad choice. Because, like I said, well, not just like I said, like I've been doing this whole channel, vehicles are now so powerful, and this is one of the most powerful. So yeah, I'm just hesitating on bringing more than 1, as it's a big investment. But you'll see later how you can sort of capitalize on that. Now the Annihilation Barge, probably one of the weaker ones, but it's cheap, it's fast. This is a really good skimmer, probably one of the best. It's not going to be able to take out sort of larger targets, but man, this can clear out a horde. This is insanely good horde clearing. And yeah, arcing the mortal wounds onto targets nearby, it's just a few of these, yeah, clear out just so much infantry. So it's good. It very much depends on what list you're bringing. I mean, what your opponent, sort of what you think you're going to be up against. But having at least 1 of these is a really good counter to, yeah, mass infantry and stuff like that. So yeah, Annihilation Barge, real good choice. I really like them now. Dryarch Stalkers, always been one of my favorite models for Necrons. It's so cool with its spider-like design. It's so menacing. So this guy's pretty good. Like, he's got one of the best melters in the game, the best sort of multi-melter with its melter 4 weapon. I mean, that's great. yeah, the fact that it can support other units with removing cover, that's really useful. And it's so agile, it's fast, it's got the Scout 8. Like, this guy can just get a quick up in the opponent's face, mark a bunch of targets, and just say, yep, everyone else, take it down for me. Yeah, it's still going to be hard to take down, despite its, like I said, despite its toughness 8. Like, yeah, that's weaker on the vehicles, but it's still 12 wounds. That's still going to take a while to take down, and it's got some fun weapons. The Particle Shredder, that's got a real good glow up. I really like that now. So many attacks. So yeah, you can really clear out a horde with a Particle Shredder now, so that's cool. I really like that. So yeah, a lot of fun you can do with the Triarch Stalkers now. Now for one of the most newest models, the Canoptic Doomstalker. Now this guy gives real War of the Worlds vibes, so that's fun. Yeah, I mean, you combined like the Triarch Stalker with the Doomsday Cannon, and you got this guy. So he's the Doomsday Cannon on legs. So I mean, that's kind of fun. Reminds me of the Half-Life 2 big enemy guys as well. So yeah, it's alright. It is cheap, it is really hard to kill. I've played against a few of them now, a few battles against them, and they are hard to bring down, especially when really supported. So yeah, while they're not as powerful as the Doomsday Cannon, they're still not bad. I don't think the Overwatch is that sort of useful. I think you can use it better on like a big squad of warriors if you're going to be overwatching something, but you know, still it's not bad. It's just not good. Yeah, so the Doomstalkers, just alright. But yeah, we'll see later how they can really get buffed, which they definitely need. I think they figured that when they made this, and I was like, oh, we can't make it too overpowered, but let's try and make a whole thing around it so we sell more of these. Alright, so for 1475 points, there's your balanced Necron tank list, which is, like I said, I think this will do really well. This will take out a lot of things. Even without picking a detachment, like just this sort of build is going to do a lot of stuff. You could also see this as the Annihilation Protocol Legion, because that thing doesn't support anything. That is, the Annihilation Protocol, from what I understand, is not good. But, you know, you can give the Ingrained Superiority to the Command Barge, or one of the other ones, and yeah, it's kind of good at fighting, but yeah, overall, don't worry about the Annihilation one if you're looking to do tanks. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't help any of them. Alright, so let's look at the first dynasty, the Awakened Dynasty. Now, this was the original one from the Index, so with a little bit of changes. So the detachment rule is not really going to help anything here, as no characters can lead anything. But that being said, there's a lot of cool enchantments that really work for this. So looking at the Phasal Subjugator, that's probably how you say that. That is a really good way to make a Death Star. So you can either put it around, like I see there, the 3 Annihilation Barges or the 3 Doomsday Arcs, adding the 1 to the hit roll, so they're all hitting on 2s. That's crazy good. So you can make a really fun Death Star out of this guy. The other one with the Dermal Bond, you know, he's 4-up, feel no pain, on top of all these other stuff to keep him alive. You can just put him into combat and he'll just live. So that's a really fun thing you can do. And the Veil of Darkness, that's just a great one to just teleport around, just get where you need to be going. So you can really use all these guys to really strategize how you're going to win. As you can see, I've got the Barge or the Monolith. I wasn't sure which way is going to really work for this, because like I said, with the Barges, you got a lot of versatility, you got a lot of mobility, but a Monolith, you can just park somewhere, someone has to deal with it. So if you're going to play distraction, or you're going to try and outmaneuver your opponent, a couple of good plays you can do there. But yeah, if we look at stratagems, the Hungry Void one, adding the strength to the Warlord, the Command Barge, I don't think that's really going to help that much. They're already strength 8, going from strength 8 to strength 9, that's not going to help that much. The Conquering Tyrant, that's really good, because if you want to put that on Doomsday Arc, it's got so long range, it's always going to be shooting at pretty much half range against a lot of stuff, so that's helpful. Sudden Storm, especially like in this build where you got a lot of fast moving stuff, giving them assault, that's cool. And even Vengeful Stars, yeah, it's not bad. You know, I don't like the really costly stratagems, but you know, you can use it. So yeah, a lot of good stuff you can use with the Awakened Dynasty. A lot of good stuff. Really can make you think and how to outplay people. So a real thinking person detachment is this one. So yeah, definitely good. Okay, so now we're looking at the Canoptic Court. This is an interesting one. As you can see, you can't use any of the enhancements, so the command barge is just going to be there just for the sake of it. But that's alright, you know, he can hang out and do stuff in the back. That's always good. So the whole theme about this one is securing objectives, moving up slowly, you know, always being in that power zone to really utilize the Doomstalkers. This really helps the Doomstalkers a lot, so yeah, it's definitely worth it. So basically the whole stratagem with this one is move the Triax Stalkers up to quickly claim, you know, middle objectives, so you can quickly get that, stake that claim, pull them in, while your Doomstalkers move up slowly. The barges are good at outflanking the monolith. You can deep strike that in just to slow everyone down from moving forward and retaking those middle objectives. And the Reanimator you can just put behind. I didn't mention him in the actual list because this is the only list you really want to put a Reanimator in. Because you can use the stratagem to make it so it can't be shot unless we're doing 12. Park him behind the Doomstalkers and he's going to be making sure all three of them are going to be healing up fully each turn. So that's really good. That's really good support. So yeah, if you want a real sinister War of the Worlds, slowly moving up and just melting everything as you walk over everything with the big walkies. Oh man, this is just a terrifying list. But yeah, it's a real neat sort of thing, the Canoptic Court. Really interesting, like really different to a lot of other factions, how it really plays. You know, it's really important to control the board, kind of like with Chaos Demons. And yeah, you can use a lot of the stratagems as well. A lot of them work for this, so yeah, pretty good one. I'd definitely recommend Canoptic Court for bringing, yeah, your Doomstalkers. This is basically, if you're going to bring Doomstalkers, you like Doomstalkers, you got to bring this. No questions asked. Now the Abyssian's Phalanx. This is an interesting one, because the only thing the rule is really buffing is the Triarch Stalkers here, giving them the +1 to wound, but +1 to wound on Melters, that's good. That's what's needed to make Melters really good at taking most things down. But regardless of that, there's a lot of fun things you can do here. Now, I went away from the usual long-range shooting. I just went for the 2 monoliths. But that's because this is a rare case where you can really buff a monolith and get it doing good stuff. Now, the list can't actually use any enhancements, but what it can use, the stratagems. Now, the Enslaved Artifice, that works really good on Annihilation Barge. Give that thing full Tesla, so it's 5s to hit, just get all the wounds. Ah, man, you thought this was good at clearing hordes before? This will clear it out then some. So this is really good to bring a couple of Annihilation Barges to capitalize on that. The Nano Assembly Protocols, that really protects, you know, vehicles more so than they actually needed. Especially monoliths. That's why I sort of brought 2. I'd say maybe bring 1 and, you know, swap it out for a couple of Doomsday Arcs, but, you know, I'd like to see how this goes. So, reducing the damage from a monolith, that is so... Oh, that makes it so hard to bring down, so that's going to be great. But yeah, using the Territorial Obsession on a Triarch Stalker, give it the OC7, like park that on an objective, that's theirs. It's going to be so hard to take from them. So that's really good. And plus the Suffer No Rival. This is a really fun one because I didn't mention it, but Triarch Stalkers are really good at combat. So what I imagine is, yeah, you got a character leading a unit. It's just going to reach over with its giant front legs and just stab it. Just stab it a bunch of times because it can. So that's really neat. That gives them a really fun thing you can do. So overall, the Obsidian Phalanx, really good. Really helps a lot of vehicles more than some of the other ones. So definitely worth considering. Now the Hypercrypt Legion, this took me a while to sort of fully figure out what would be best. But considering this is the Monolith detachment, let's bring 3 monoliths. So normally, of course, this would be, you have the monoliths there and you have a lot of warriors just completely coming out of them, and you can just keep moving them up the board, kind of like orcs using the Here We Go psychic power. You just keep throwing more and more just out of this monolith. And yeah, having the strat here where you can give the monolith the 4-up invuln is just brutal. So, but in this case, we don't have any warriors, we don't have any things the monolith it can come out of. They're supporting themselves here. So basically how this goes is you have the Dimensional Overseer just on one of them, on one of the barges, just so you can put more stuff into reserve so it can deep strike back in. You have another one that's using the Osteoclave so it can deep strike in. So this is just hyper mobility. This is putting Grey Knights to shame. You can just pick everything up and just put them back down just wherever you want. And yeah, using Cosmic Precision, you can just put a monolith right in someone's face. It's like, yeah, you can't charge, but if they have to charge you, man, the monolith hurts so much in combat. It's not something you want to be fighting in combat or at range, because it's got the other stratagem where it gives hazardous to things firing it close up. So yeah, if you can bring all these monoliths in close, real close, first off, oh, it hurts. So yeah, basically the theory is you put them in, if one gets hurt, you just pull them back further to the back of the board for a little while to heal up, then pull it back at the front. So yeah, you're going to be all over the board with this. This is crazy. So I haven't had a chance to actually try it out, but I do want to try this out. Yeah, like I said, you're at low model count, but I think the hyper ability of just movement here, it's really going to counterbalance that. So I think this would be pretty cool. Like I said, I don't know how well it will work, but it will be cool. So definitely recommend. Alright, so overall, Necrons, a lot of fun stuff you can do with the tanks. A lot of great combos, a lot of synergy, a lot of strats you can use. This is going to be a really good time for them. And like I said, not a lot of them really directly are rewarded from what Legion you're picking, but you know, it still combos really well with other stuff that does, so you can really make it work. So yeah, let me know how you go with these ones. If you try them out before I get a chance to, definitely let me know how it is. And yeah, I'll try and have a new one of these out soon. But that's it for this video, so I'll talk to you soon, and I hope you all have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.